Hello, this is the Witch Nikki, and I thought I'd do a little video today about my fish world tanks for Halloween that I've decorated. This one here is called Halloween Storytime for Children, and I've done my own background here on it that I made this in what's it called? Collage. It's an app that you could put on your phone. And then these other little items that you could click on here, like this pumpkin. See, I can move it. This little raven right here, I can move him too, but he's sitting there eating from the bowl of candy. And okay, then I could let's see, hide fish, and then you can see the items over here too. All of these are put in like this. This here is the background. It doesn't move, it just sits there. And I don't really have any fish in there. I could, I guess, but I like the scenery the way it is right there, just by itself without any fish in it. It's still fun to look at with the decorations. And see, I don't have any fish in there, but I guess I could put one. See down here, they have the fish, I mean not the fish, my inventory. And if I want to go, look at this black pumpkin right there. It's a floater. That means it's going to swim around in there. So I'm going to put that in there. And you just click on it. And then you put him right in there. And I think he would look nice, you know. I don't think that fishes would look really cool in this tank because it's kind of like a decorative tank. Let's see if we can find any more creepy ones to put in there that might be okay. In your inventory, you have fish that you buy periodically. You have decorations, and then these are gifts that people have given you. And also fish and decorations. So I don't know if I find any more in there that might go with that. How about this cute little monster right there? Isn't that cute? Let me try to get closer. See? So I'm going to drop him in there. He's also a cleaner. See the question mark? Algae eater. Because your tanks could get dirty, but mine won't. But he'd make a good decoration. He wants somewhere to go. So just drop them. There you go. And okay, so let's take a look and see how they look now. There he is right there. And here comes the swimmer guy. See that? Pumpkin floating around. See, I don't really want too many because it kind of messes with the background stuff, and I really like that. I entered a contest, but I don't think it did very well. I don't know. I just enter it for the fun of it. Plus, sometimes you get points for doing it or whatever. And then I go viewing the tanks again. And here I have a drop tank. That's if any of your friends want to drop you some little gifts and stuff. Here's one called Peekaboo. I did that one too. And it has custom background. Let's see. There we go. Let me let's see. I have to click on something. And then hide fish so you could see the background. See. This one was for a contest too, that you had to decorate a fish tank within a fish tank. So I put these fishes, this fish tank with skeletons, and this one over here are just a big pile of skulls. See that? And see the moon? Isn't that cool? And then I think she's a tooth fairy, and see, she's leaving this area here where she's gone in to get all the skull's teeth from time after time. And then there's one little lady sitting over here. Can you see her? That's about as close. Let me see if I can get it just a little bit closer. See? So that's one. It's called Peekaboo, and can you see the person's eye right there peeking in for a keyhole into this room? See that? See? That's kind of cool, I think. So let's take a look at another one. What do you fear? Let's see what I put in that one. Some of these I haven't seen for a while. That's loading. Oh, this one has the cool music in the background. Let me click on something so I could hide the fish for a minute, so you could just see the background stuff. And you see it just loops over. But can you see the zombies in the background right here? There's a spider up here. If I click on it, you can see it better. See that? And all of this stuff is in there. Skeleton dancing, the witch, and other things in there. I thought that was kind of cute. You know, see those spooky things going on in there. Let me see now. Oh, show the fish. Let's see what kind of fish. Look at all those fish. The zombie fish, eyes, some bones, some more, I don't know, zombie-ish. Zombie spiny mermaid. And this one here is Zelda the zombie. Sorry about that. Flying candlestick. I just thought some of those fish would be kind of cute. There's also a cat down here at the bottom. Stuff going on here. There's a zombie with snorkels. So I thought that was kind of cute too. And let's see. Oh, this one I made for a friend of mine who is Nancy Nightmare and the Wizard. So we're going to see her special tank. There we go. See. Nancy Nightmare and the Wizard. She's on YouTube. You should check out her music. It is fabulous, and she's playing Halloween spooky music and stuff like that all through some good parts of Los Angeles and California. I haven't been able to go out and see her yet, and I'd like to, but when she gets someplace that I could go to, I might go. So I made that one. Let me make the fish disappear here too for a minute so you can see the background stuff. See that? There we go. So that was her picture, and I saved it and put it in here. It cost $5 to put a background like this in, because this is a background that doesn't come from Fish World. This is one that you make on your own, and it's only $5. So you get the $5 right up here. And I've only excuse me, I've only bought a fair few, not very many, because you earn them throughout time when you get more of these points here and stuff like that. Selling stuff, you have different ways to sell it. Right down here. The auction house. And it's taken me a couple of years. I mean, at least I think I've been playing this about, shoot, maybe about 3 or 4 years, more than that, probably 5 or 6. This is one of the first games or whatever. It's not really a game. It kind of could be, I guess. One of the games that you could play on Facebook. But there's no, like, you know, like game going on. It's mostly like good old-fashioned dollhouse, but it's like an aquarium. And if you can't have an aquarium at home, then you could just make up one. Now this one might be kind of spooky. Click on it there. This one is called Michonne and Her Pets. Michonne and Her Pets. Loading up. See that? Yeah. Click on something here. So then had somebody, Michelle, come in for a second, so I had to pause. Okay. Oh yeah. I think there we go. Hide fish, so you could see just the background stuff through here that I put in. But this is my creation right here. I made these dolls. Those were not something I found on the internet. I made them. I bought some dolls at a thrift shop, and I made them into zombie babies. And if you watch The Walking Dead, then you will know. This one here in the front there, that's Michonne, and those are her pets. If you watch The Walking Dead, you will know what I'm talking about. If not, it's just a creepy tank. A very creepy tank. And we have these guys outside this year near our front porch because I don't want somebody to come and steal them. Now let's see. Let's see. Dia de los Muertos. Sorry, sometimes my Spanish is not that good. Sorry. Now, this is one that I created. You see. Dia de los Muertos. That means Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead. And let me click on something here so you can hide the fish. And you can see my candy skull right through here. And some of other ones that were already made up skulls on the side. This one I made from a picture that I had of a skull, I believe. And then there's ghosts throughout here and stuff like that. But I set it up to be kind of like an the altar or something that people would make. You know, mostly people of Mexico will use this kind of a display for Dia de los Muertos. And you could look up more about that online because that's something that it's not that I don't know enough about it, but it's sort of similar to Samhain, where we recognize and celebrate and respect people who have gone on, the people who have died. Their bodies have dropped, and that's, you know, one way of looking at it. However you want to call it. I don't really want to upset anybody with things like this, but it's a part of life, and so, yeah. we celebrate it, not like that they're gone, but kind of give them our respects. And I will be taking Michelle and Ginger and I to a cemetery, probably the one in Downey. That one is so beautiful, and it's located on Lakewood Boulevard in, I think it's like on the border of Lakewood and Downey, something like that, but it does say Downey on it, so I believe it's probably Downey. And it's a very old one. Let's see if I could find any others. Here's one that I put for Samhain. Now, Samhain is kind of it's a holiday that a lot of witches or Wiccans, pagans, celebrate. And you see the way that it's spelled? Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain. And let me click on something here and then hide the fish for a moment just so you could see. There's different things, symbols here like this, and none of them are bad witchcraft type demonic symbols or anything like that. They're very ancient symbols, or they represent some. These are probably created by Fish World's artist. There is a pentacle here on this section here that is turned green now, but watch when I click off of it, it kind of disappears. This is representing Samhain, which means that there's a veil between our earth and the spirit world, if you will, and the veil is supposed to be lighter so that they can come and visit with us more through October 31st through November 1st. And also Dia de los Muertos is also very similar. And so it's about respecting those who have gone on. And we don't know anybody at the cemetery, but we go and we clean them off because sometimes they have dirt or dust or stuff all over them. And so we go there to clean them off. And then we leave little things like little well, this year I think we're going to leave maybe just some little nuts and some, maybe some candies. I don't know. Here's a Disney rated. I call it Disney rated Halloween because it's inspired by Disneyland. And I'm going to click on something here because then you get to hide the fish. You can see it's kind of kid-friendly. And I made the pumpkin over here look like Mickey Mouse. And the Haunted Mansion. See if I lift it. There you go. See the Haunted Mansion-y type? This was, this background is by Fish World. And so I just added these other little things to it all around here. All of these. You can make things really big by clicking on it. And then you see the little things here. This is to make it larger. Watch how large it will get. See? And then I'll make it small again because I want his ears to show. See? And things like the bat, you could, I'll just show you. You could turn them around. Watch the bat now. See? Or you can make them go like even upside down. See? And you could also make them bigger or smaller. See? However you want. And all these other little things here too, like this little ghost. Watch, I'll make him get a little bit bigger. See? I just did that by clicking on the different tools that you have down here. See that? There's so much fun that you could do in here of creating, and I'm doing it all by, I don't know if you can see, by my mouse. See that? How it's moving around. You can see on the screen how I'm just making it go in a circle. And this is the mouse that I have, this little pad right here. So you move things, around there. And I have different ones. I like to show this one about my mom. There's a very special story about her. And since it's getting close to Halloween, I kind of like to share this story a little bit. Because my mom died October 1st, 1995. And there she is. This is a special background. Let me hide the fish so you could see her. Did you see right here? There's Gina Tay. And there's other things like a surfboard. She used to tell me that when she was a teenager, before they had fancy surfboards like that, she used to just take a piece of plywood or some kind of wood and go out there and body surf with it. And I thought that was pretty cool. When she was a teenager, she did that. Back in those days, they weren't allowed to wear special kind of bathing suits. They had to wear almost like clothes almost. But the Gina Tay, that's where I have this special little story, and I'm going to tell it. And if you believe in certain things about dying, and if certain things scare you, or if they're against your religion, you might want to turn this off at this point. This is not something that scares me, and I've told this to Ginger, and Ginger's 8, and I've been telling it to Ginger for many years now, and this is something that truly happened. I came home from work. I used to work in the nighttime, and I came home from work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I laid down, and I was very tired. It was October 1st, 1995, and I fell asleep, and the phone rang, and my father, who was very distraught, that means very sad, he said, "Well, your mother died." And then he just hung up the phone. I guess it was too much for him to talk about. But just before I had woke up anyways, and I had smelled Gina Tay floating through the room, just like if somebody had poured the Gina Tay around the room. And then that's when my father called. I've mixed up the story a little bit, but that's what happened, is that I woke up because I smelled the Gina Tay, and then my dad called. Then I called my sister because I knew he didn't have her phone number. So I called her, and she was all the way in Chicago. And she answered the phone. She said, "Hello?" And I said, "Yeah, this is Nikki." And she says, "Mom died." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she goes, "Because I just smelled Gina Tay floating through out on the balcony where I was sitting and smoking a cigarette." Because she smoked. She still does. Now, years later, Michelle told me a similar story, that she had a dream that I was home at that house alone. And I was alone, and she was at her dad's house at the time, but she had a dream about me getting a phone call from Grandma, or from Grandpa telling that Grandma had died, something like that. And then I called her, telling her that her grandma had died. So she had already had a premonition. I don't think she'd dreamed it or anything, but I think that's a very interesting story, is that The spirit is very big and very powerful, and it can come to you from anywhere and at any time. It doesn't have to be nighttime. It doesn't have to be Samhain or Halloween or anything like that. We've had a couple experiences right here in this house that I live in a few times. Ginger has seen women sitting up near the ceiling on shelves high up. She's seen them just sitting there. And there's been times where I've seen my roommate, who is Ginger's grandpa. I've seen him come and go from the house, but he was never home. And there was times where I swore he was in his room because I heard noises going on in there, but he wasn't home. And he would come through the front door, and I said, "Did you just get home?" And he said, "Yeah." "Why?" And I said, "Well, I've heard noises going on." Well, yesterday he told us about, he had these masks up on the wall that look sort of like Borg or robot-y type masks. And the one of them, he went into his room last night, and one of them was on the bed, face up. And from where it would have fallen was very distant. It would not have been able to fall on his bed and land face up like that. And also he's told me he's had a hat up on one of his shelves, and he's come home and found it on the floor. And nobody has been in his room, and there's no way, from the position it was up on a shelf, no way for it to. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this item right here, the other day, I don't know if you see that. There's a horse up there too. And let's see if I can't really see it because it's dark in here right now. But that whole thing came crashing down on my computer. And you probably can't see. This button got smashed off from here. So I'll have to find some kind of crazy glue or something to put on it and do that. Anyways, yeah, I did tell you, listeners and watchers out there, that some very spooky things have happened to me in my life, and it's true. And you shouldn't be afraid. We are all spirits, after all. And I don't know, I guess some people just don't understand that when your body dies, because your body is what holds it, together, the spirit and the body, they go together. When the spirit says, "Hey, I'm out of here, time to go," then it does. And then the spirit separates and the body drops. And we are saddened to lose the person that was there physically. But they go on, their spirit will go on, and sometimes they stick around for whatever reason. Some people believe that and some people don't, but I do. Now, here's kind of a little spooky piece of information. We live about less than a block and a half actually, so less than 2 blocks away from a mortuary. And a mortuary is where they bring people's bodies to be made up for the funeral. Well, I'm thinking sometimes that might be why we have a ghost or two around here, because they might just be waiting for the people to get their funeral going and for them to be laid to rest. And they come popping in over here to visit with us because I'm somebody who believes in that. And I do feel ghosts coming around here often, but they've never harmed me. I have yet in my whole life, and I've been seeing ghosts and hearing them, smelling them, since I was 3 years old. That's my earliest recollection, is when I was 3 years old. We'll talk about that again some other time. But thank you so much for sharing with me today my Facebook Fish World aquariums. Some of my special ones for Halloween and stuff like that. I think I probably have a few more. Let's see. I have so many. Oh, here's another spooky-ish one. Oh no, wait, that's not it. Ah, here we go. Oh, did we do this one? Ah, here's one. Oh, there's so many. This is the first one that I did. I don't want to go too much because I'm almost out of time. I think we'll just have time for this one more. And this one is, come on, Little Witches. It's from a poem, a story that I created a long time ago for Ginger. Hide fish for a minute. I don't know if I'll have time to do it, but you see, there's Ginger here and me. So this is another background that I did, that I made. And the little song, but I don't know if I'll have time to sing it, but I have it on a few of my videos if you want to look through it. I put there. So this is just some fun stuff that you could do in Fish World. I love you all. Have a great day.